This led to an overspend of almost £500 million, a huge part of the Northern Ireland budget. Businesses had realised there was money to be made, and some were exploiting the scheme. One farmer said to be due £1 million for heating an empty shed that didn't need heating in the first place. Overall, more than £1 billion of public money is due to be paid out over 20 years.
A lot of people are critical of her because she has not been perceived to be as apt to end the scheme, to have an investigation. Now she says she wants one.
I apologise to the people of Northern Ireland for my responsibility as Minister for the Renewable Heat Incentive, and I do so again today. Our efforts as a party these past weeks have been to try and find a solution to the problem. Others have sought to exploit it for party political reasons.
Sinn Féin is among those who've been calling for her to sort out the crisis, in particular the former Deputy First Minister, Martin McGuinness. But Arlene Foster has a difficult relationship with him. McGuinness was one of those who made a speech at the funeral of the IRA man she believes tried to kill her father back in the 1970s. Henry MacDonald says that while she's tried to be pragmatic in dealing with Sinn Féin, she's not found it easy.
Ultimately, like Ian Paisley, like Peter Robinson, her two predecessors as leaders of the DUP, ultimately she too had to make the compromise. She too had to sit down with former enemies like Martin McGuinness. So she's a more pragmatic perhaps than people would imagine, but did it at a slower pace and a more sceptical pace. And on a kind of personal relationship level, you could easily describe the relationship as business-like. It's never going to be like the Chuckle Brothers. This is the depiction of Ian Paisley and Martin McGuinness, who never stopped laughing and smiling in photographs together, which stunned the world. But Arlene's not going to be chummy and jokey with Sinn Féin leaders.
Arlene Foster readily admits she's stubborn. This was her on last year's Spotlight programme when asked if she had a temper.
People tell me I do have a temper, yes. Absolutely, yeah.
Is it something you think you need to rein in or control as First Minister?
When a woman has passion in her voice about an issue, she's emotional. But if a man was to do a similar speech or to say something similar, he would be passionate about an issue. So I think there is a difference.
The irony is she's now been forced out of office this week because of her refusal to back down in the face of Sinn Féin pressure, to stand down and allow an investigation to be carried out into a green energy scheme she first introduced, then failed to curtail before it got out of hand. Has she messed up? I mean, here we are. She's only been in the job 12 months. Northern Ireland's facing its worst political crisis for probably a decade. Is it down to her?
I think she has to take some blame for this, yes. I mean, she could have stood down like Peter Robinson did as another investigation was carried out. But she does not want to be seen to be pushed into a position by Sinn Féin, and I think that goes back to her background.
On Monday, if no agreement has been reached on replacing Martin McGuinness, it's expected the government in Westminster will trigger a snap Northern Ireland election. Whatever the outcome, Henry MacDonald says Arlene Foster isn't going away.